Hi, my name is Michael Dell. I'm a Ganawage Rono living with special needs. When I was interviewed, I had an idea for a show for people from Ganawage living with disabilities. Today is the start of that show, Walk in My World. Often, people with disabilities lead sheltered lives, and their interactions are limited to caregivers and family members. I hope this show will bring you awareness of these people, their families, their lives, and their dreams for the future. Welcome back to another episode of Walk in My World. Once again, we are coming to you from Cadbury School. For those of you that have seen the episode from last time, it's not around the same topic that we are going to be covering. This time we are covering adapted technology. Imagine if you were a kid and could not speak, but you had all kind of dreams, poems, and thoughts that you wanted to get out, but you didn't know how. Well, in this day and age, there's all kind of adapted technology, and the teacher of this class, Noma, is going to explain and show with her students what it takes to make this adaptive technology work, so her students have a voice.
Okay. In the beginning of the year, we had this Dynavox right over there, and it was quite difficult to program. Thank goodness we had Tamara Canadian, who's not here today. She taught us how, and Natalie and I are pros now. And then we got the iPad and we found it so easy. We're using a program called Proloquo to Go, and we're going to be learning a little more about it. We're having a workshop April 5th, and the parents of these students are invited to attend. And we program everything we need so the children can learn to communicate with others. So we've been walking around the school and we've been practicing in class questions that we want the other students like Stella and Sheldon to ask them, so they get to know them, and it's so exciting when they first hear them answer these questions. So we're just going to do a demonstration, and Bodhi is an excellent reader, so he's going to read the first question to Ahario. Okay, Bodhi, what do you want to ask him? What
school do you go to?
I go to Cadbury School. I go to Cadbury School.
Okay. Now, Stella, you're going to ask Joey. Okay.
Joey, how old are you?
I am 12 years old.
Good. Okay, Sheldon, you're going to ask Ahario now.
Ario, what do you like to do?
Bicycle.
What else?
Computers. I really like to play with. iPad.
Wait, pick one more.
Play with Coco.
That's his dog. Okay, good. And now it's Bodhi's turn to ask a question. Bodhi, you're going to ask Joey.
Where do you live?
I live in Ganawage.
Good. Okay, Stella.
Joey, what is your father's name?
Joey.
Ahario, what is your father's name?
Mark.
Good.
My father's name is Mark.
Good. Okay, now Sheldon.
Joey, what do you like to do after school?
After school, I swim.
You can ask Ahario the same question.
What do you like to do after school?
After school, I play outside, bike, play with family and friends, go shopping, watch TV and movies.
You know what? We're going to ask one question each about an animal that we studied. We studied penguins, so you're going to ask Joey something about penguins, okay?
What do penguins look like?
Joey, what do penguins look like?
Feathers, flippers, short legs, webbed feet.
You want to ask a Hario a question about penguins?
Aharia, who are penguins' enemies?
Killer whales. Leopard seals.
Good. Okay. And Sheldon will ask the last question.
What type of animal is a penguin, Joey?
Bird.
Good. Okay. Sure, you can ask him.
What type of animal is a penguin?
Type of animal.
Bird.
Good. Okay, and now Joey has learned how to read. Okay, Joey is going to read using the Dynavox. It's harder. We find it harder because we clear the words away. So we know he's actually reading.
Okay.
It's not just by checking the word on the iPad and then matching it. So he's just going to read a little sample. It's a very long process, but he's so patient and so fast, it's incredible.
The.
Girl.
Has.
A banana.
Big.
Spoons.
The little girl has a big spoon. Good. Could Ahario is going to have a turn. He's using the iPad and he's working on words.
I.
Okay, now this word.
See. A.
Good.
Boy. With. And. Airplane.
Apple.
Apple.
Good. Our goal will be now for the students to initiate conversation with others. So in the iPad, there is questions about you, and we just started this. But you know what? Why don't you ask Sheldon a question? Pick a question, ask him.
What is your name?
My name is Sheldon.
Okay, ask Stella a question.
What is your name?
My name's Stella.
Okay, now Joey is going to ask Sheldon something. Joey.
Who are your friends?
My friends are Troy, and I have other friends at my home.
Okay, good. Ahario, ask Stella a question. Ask her a question.
Where do you live?
I live in Kanawake.
Ask Sheldon a question.
Who are your teachers?
Miss Jill and Miss Shannons are my teachers.
Okay. And Joey, ask one last question to Stella.
Who are your teachers?
My teachers, Miss Jill and Miss Shannon.
Okay, so Sheldon and Stella, now that you've come in the class and have you worked with them? Like, have you initiated conversations with them on the iPad and Dynavox?
Yes.
Yep.
Before you got to know them through that way, was it harder to make a conversation with them, or did you have your own way before the Dynavox and everything was introduced?
Yeah, my parents have iPad and they show me what they have.
Yeah, and for you, Stella, is it the same way?
No.
Okay, so like now that you've seen this technology this year, so you say it's easier to make a conversation with Honorio and Joey?
Yes.
So it's like they get you get to know what they're really thinking inside, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what the community needs to hear also.
We've been working on little jobs around the school, and we made some money, so we have a lot of change. So we programmed in a bank. So can you go to the bank? Because we're going to go with our iPad to the bank.
Can you change this for bills?
So we programmed it so they can be responsible to ask. When we go to McDonald's, because we're going to have extra money from our bills that we get, we're going to go to McDonald's. Joey, tell them what you're going to want to order when you go to McDonald's.
French fries.
And what else?
Apple slices.
Anything else?
Chocolate milk. Chicken nuggets.
Okay, that's it. That's it. Okay, good. And yes,
Can I ask how they got the money?
because we just asked teachers to give a little bit of money. So we've been charging a penny to water plants around the school, or charging a nickel to deliver mail. And with all this money, we got a lot of change, and now we're going to get some bills at the bank, and we'll go and have a treat. So
What's been the reaction when you go to the bank?
this is our first time.
Okay, so you don't know
I don't know.
what it's gonna be.
But we did use this at Tim Hortons. We took them out. And I think they were surprised that they use this iPad to speak. So it's fun, eh, Ahadio? It's fun to speak like that.
Yeah.
And Bodhi, you also like to help out too with it.
I have an adaptive computer, which I call William, and it kind of talks to me, but it rambles. So I'm just getting used to working with the whole technology.
What kind of technology is it? I didn't.
It's Zoom text.
Zoom text?
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
It has a speech recognition,
Oh, I see.
so it can read everything on my computer.
Oh.
But if you go off one thing that you're not supposed to, it reads the whole thing, and you have to get back on it.
Really, I was scared of technology because I'm never very good at it, but Tamara, Canadian, is not here. She helped us. Natalie and I are pros now. We still need help, but we also taught Joey and Ahadio how to program, and they know how. So we've all been learning together how to program everything that we need. And it's so much easier to carry outside into the community than that heavy Dynavox, which is, I think, a few $1,000s.
Okay,
So.
before you got all this adaptive technology, how would kids like this learn in a classroom like this?
Last year, I don't know. I think, Natalie, sign language they used last year? Sign language, and they used to have pictures. Little.
Yeah. When I came, Ario was in grade 1, and Don was teaching him sign language, so I continued the sign language, and he learned a lot of words. We were using it for 3-4 years, I guess. He was using it, and actually his mother was taking a course also, sign language. So they were using sign language in the home. And then this year, we felt that the iPads were, they were using the Dynavox also a little bit here and there, but when the iPad came to the school, it's an excellent technology. We're using it more and more, and the sign language, we're using it, but not as much as the iPad.
And when you say sign language, you're talking American ASL?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's really come a long way.
Mm-hmm. And Ahadio still uses signs to tell us. Tell us if you're hungry. What do you do? And tell us if you're thirsty. Yeah. And Joey too, and Bodhi has learned some sign language, so we're all learning from each other.
I want.
And it doesn't affect, even though Bodhi is the one that can use his voice, he's been learning a lot. That's why, as you could see, he's been reading, he's helping the other children, he's reading questions, so we always include Bodhi in everything that we do.
Yeah. So is there anything else that you feel you want to put in here before we wrap up?
No, I think this is the best invention. Maybe 20 years down the road, I'm sure there'll be something new that will be even better, but for now, I find this easy to carry, easy to learn, even for me. I've learned it. And to play games, we play games on it. So it just. How do you like it, Ahadio? Do you like having an iPad? And Joey, do you like having an iPad? What about you, Bodhi?
I don't know really.
Yeah, but you love playing with the Dynavox.
That's my favorite because the Dynavox broke already. I don't know.
One of them broke, so this is the one that didn't break, and sometimes you use it for a reward, eh?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we've come to the end of another episode of Walk in My World. If you have any comments or questions, you can email me at mike.dell@paulcom.ca. From Cadbury School, this is Michael Dell for Walk in My World. Ona.
More than 14% of all Canadians have a disability. For Aboriginal First Nations people in Canada, there are 33% of people living with disabilities. People living with disabilities are subject to exclusion, poverty, and isolation. There are higher rates of depression, suicide, violence, and abuse for people with disabilities. We know that for Aboriginal people with disabilities in Canada, all of these rates and percentages are even higher. Statistics according to Independent Living Canada.
Kanya ke haga thadi adaraste kayerniga hiadu zewaderoru.